We spend our lives learning to navigate the world around us, right? But what about that vast, really complex landscape within us? It seems like there's a growing need for a whole new kind of map, a guide for experiences that go way beyond our everyday consciousness. So today, we're going to explore a framework designed to do exactly that. More and more people are having these profound inner experiences. But here's the key difference. They aren't remembered like some vague, fuzzy dream. No, they're recalled as vivid, interactive events, as real as any other memory. And that points to a completely different way of perceiving reality. So if these states of consciousness are becoming more common, how do we navigate them safely? I mean, you wouldn't set off to explore a new continent without a map, would you? Well, that's exactly what fourth level counseling is all about. It's the discipline of map making for this profound non-physical territory inside us. Let's just break down the formal definition for a second. See those two words there, safety and integration? Those are absolutely crucial. This isn't about promoting altered states just for the heck of it. It's about helping people make sense of their experiences and bring the wisdom back into their daily lives in a stable, grounded way. Okay, so think about any great expedition. It always begins with careful preparation. In this framework, that's called the stability foundation. Before you can even think about navigating the inner world, you have to build a secure base camp. Honestly, this is the most critical part of the entire practice. And this foundation, it rests on four anchors that all depend on each other. A good way to think about it is like a sturdy table. It needs all four legs to be stable. Knowledge gives you the map. Interpretation helps you read it. Grounding keeps you tethered to reality. And safety, well, that creates the container for the whole journey. So first up is knowledge. A guide absolutely needs a clear conceptual map. It's not about having all the answers, not at all. It's about understanding the general layout of these inner worlds, the different layers of consciousness. This is what allows them to guide other people responsibly without getting lost themselves. Next, we have interpretation, and this is so important. It's not about the counselor telling the client what their experience means. It's a collaborative thing, helping the client uncover their own personal insight. It's really the difference between being a tour guide who just points things out and being a translator who helps you understand the language. Then there's grounding. This one is completely non-negotiable. Exploring consciousness can be, really expansive. So it's essential to have practices that bring you right back to the anchor of your physical body. Grounding makes sure the exploration enriches your life, instead of making you feel all disconnected from it. And finally, safety. This is the bedrock of trust. It's the whole ethical framework, the clear boundaries, and the skill to recognize when an experience might be getting a little too overwhelming or destabilizing. Without this strong container, no deep or meaningful exploration can even happen. It's just not possible. All right, so once that stable foundation is built, the next step is to actually understand the map. The framework calls this map the human information field, and it's basically a model that helps us understand the different layers of reality we might have to navigate. So, a map of consciousness, what does that even look like? I mean, how can we possibly chart a territory that seems so incredibly subjective and mysterious? Well, believe it or not, the framework offers a surprisingly clear structure. This table here is basically the map's key, or its legend. It shows how these different realities operate by totally different rules. So physical reality is driven by matter and biology. Cognitive reality, our minds, is driven by thought. The astral level is driven by raw emotion. Think of the chaotic, reactive nature of a wild dream. But fourth level reality, it's unique. It's driven by conscious awareness, which makes it coherent and intentionally navigable. And here's where things get really interesting. This is the fundamental shift in the rules of the game. In our physical world, our consciousness has to adapt to matter. You can't just walk through a wall. But in the fourth level, the complete opposite is true. Form adapts to consciousness. Your intention literally shapes the reality you experience. And that is why a whole new set of navigational skills is absolutely essential. So, if the laws are flipped upside down, how on earth do you navigate? This brings us to the practical skills of exploration, what you might call the art of the inner cartographer. It's all about learning to move through these worlds with purpose and, most importantly, awareness. I mean, that really raises a fascinating question, right? If your intention creates the path right in front of you, what skills do you need to walk it safely? The answer isn't about force or pushing through. It's actually about focus, clarity, and orientation.
So this gives us the essential toolkit for any inner explorer. And notice the emphasis on control and safety, orienting before you move, using your body as an anchor, and mastering the ability to enter, and just as importantly, cleanly exit. The goal is always, always a safe return.
So, what's your most reliable navigation tool? It's not some complex technique or a fancy visualization. It's way simpler than that. It's your own body. That's somatic feedback. That simple feeling of being settled or tense tells you immediately if a path is safe. It's the ultimate reality check. Now, this is like the prime directive for any encounters in these realms. It's such a powerful rule for discernment. If any interaction makes you feel less in control, less in your body, or just confused, it's not a source of wisdom. It's a clear signal to just stop, ground yourself, and reorient. Your personal sovereignty is everything.
And this table breaks down that difference so clearly. A healthy engagement feels calm, it feels optional, and you are self-directed. You keep all of your authority. Unhealthy engagement feels compulsive or urgent, or it creates dependency. You start giving your authority away. Just recognizing this feeling is a vital safety skill.
So, how does all this come together? Well, ultimately, this framework is way more than just a set of techniques. It's about empowering you to chart your own path and to become a confident explorer of your own inner universe. And let's be really clear about the ultimate purpose here. This isn't about spiritual bypassing, using spiritual ideas to avoid life's challenges. It's the exact opposite. The entire point of the journey is the return. It's about bringing back wisdom to live a more integrated and conscious life, right here on Earth. This quote just summarizes the core philosophy perfectly. The mark of a truly skilled navigator isn't how far out they can travel. It's their ability to stay centered and oriented no matter what kind of terrain they happen to encounter. So, after all that, what's the single most important takeaway? The one thing that stands above everything else? It's stability. A grounded, stable foundation is the #1 priority. It's what makes everything else even possible. And so, we end right where we began, with the map. This whole framework offers a compass for a territory that exists inside all of us, and it suggests that it's not chaotic, but actually navigable. So the final question is for you. If you had a map to your own inner world, what would you discover?